Notes along the side.
How much was I involved with the back and forth, kind of the banter between the characters that are in the margins of the role-playing game books? I went over it. I went over the dialogue to approve it after it was already all done, and basically said, "Yeah, this is good." So that was the work of them, and I think it speaks to their dedication and commitment as to how well they actually did do that dialogue. Some of these researchers that Fred managed to get to put on the books, I mean, they're just spooky. And they'd written all these things into the rule book that I was like, you can't put that you can't put that there. Why not? Well, because it's not going to be out until book 18. But they had put together the pieces and inferred the existence of certain things, and they were just kind of throwing them in. And I'm like, don't do that, don't do that.
On the flip side, though, was there anything in there that you looked at and said, "Ooh, I could use that"?
Not so far. Not so far. There are some things that I've looked at and gone, "Ooh, interesting," and so it's gone into the cooker. But I'll probably think it's original when I actually. And then at some point I'll be going back through the rule book and go, "Oh, okay, I got it there. I really should send a letter to Fred."
That was a leading question because there's a back and forth between Harry and Billy about the werewolves being able to talk to animals, dogs specifically. So.
Where? Which book?
I just got them for Christmas. I don't have them memorized yet.
Okay, well.
Your story.
Role-playing.
Uniforms, yes.
No, it's basically.
Billy says woof.
That
is his answer.
Right, yeah. The wolves can't. I mean, just because you can turn into a wolf doesn't mean you can talk to a dog. It does give you a little bit more insight perspective as to being a dog, which almost counts as communication. For me, I mean, I think I understand my dog pretty well. Although I had to subtitle him for a long time in order to do it. So I have my dog voice when I do my dog's dialogue back to me when I talk to him. What's going on, Frost? What you doing? Oh, nothing. I'm not trying to jump up on this chair and get what's left of your sandwich. That kind of thing.
Now that the sci-fi series has ended, what is the state of the rights for the Dresden Files?
The rights to the Dresden Files I got them back early, so they're all on my mind again. And we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with them.
Considering the experience with the series and how that kind of, that happened.
Yeah.
What kind of involvement would you insist upon, if anything else were to ever happen again? I mean, would it be similar to the involvement you have with the comic, just final say? What would you like to have?
The question is if there's another shot at a TV show or movies, etc., what kind of role would I want to have? Or would I want to play in it? I think it would depend a lot upon how much I already had on my plate, because I'm kind of at a point in my life right now where there's enough to do that if I add anything else to it, I'm going to be letting down someone that I care about a lot, and that's not acceptable to me. I think it would depend on what my schedule was looking like and so on, how much I would want to be involved. And I mean, if you want to get involved in Hollywood, there's a number of levels to which you can get involved. And some of them I kind of don't like. I kind of don't like the executive producer level of involvement where they put your name on it and they do things in your name, but you're not actually doing things. Although there is an additional paycheck that goes with it, I understand. As far as that goes, I would either like to be up to my neck with veto authority over it, or not involved, except as and by the way, there's the author. Although I think I would say I get to appear in the background somewhere, and that's all there is to it.
Everyone caught his cameo in the series?
Yeah, I got to do the cameo for the TV series, which was fun and cool, and got to meet people and so on. So. At what point in the series we're going to find out the connection between Harry and the island of Demon Reach? In the last chapter of Ghost Story.
Oh.
Yeah, that came as a shock to the betas who are reading the in-progress version right now. They're like, really? Really?
Is there any plans? Side Job was an enjoyable book. Did they have any plans to do any other novellas like that or collections?
Okay, do I have any plans for any more novellas or collections? The answer to that is, I originally wrote Side Jobs because I wanted to do the anthology because I wanted to get all the short stories into one place. There are people that can't afford to go buy, a dozen different anthologies, and so I wanted to be able to have them all in one spot for the readers to be able to get them. And as it turned out, when Side Jobs came out, there was issues at other publishers, and I had 2 stories out that did not make Side Jobs. So now the only thing I could do if I want to stick to my original goal is to do another anthology of short stories so that's kind of the plan now. Is I'm writing several more short stories early next year or early this year. Oh my gosh, I've got to get those written.
Good night, everyone. Jim's got to go.
Yeah. And then I'll be writing another novella and to include. So I'm going to do several more short stories so that I can do another anthology. Probably not next year, but maybe the year after.
What did Margaret LeFay have on the Liana sheet in order to convince her to be Harry's godmother?
What did Margaret LeFay have on the Linan sheet in order to convince her to be Harry's godmother? I'm not gonna tell you. But you'll see. At some point. At some point. I'm not sure if that'll be late in the series or early in the capstone. So. I'm sorry, what was the first part of the question? The alphas have started to develop into something more than just turning into a wolf, and how far will I be running with that? A bit. But I don't want to spoil anything for you. So yeah, they're okay. The alphas are us. They're the gamers who look at this. The gamers and the people who show up at the conventions and who cosplay and who suddenly get handed these cool stuff that they can do. Of course, they're not just going to leave it at what their hand is. Look, here's how you can become a wolf. That's amazing. Oh, that is amazing. But what else can we do? Wouldn't it be even more amazing if? And yeah, so far nobody's managed to melt themselves into a puddle of gray goo. That's sort of the ultimate fail as a shapeshifter. If you get the mega fail, that's what happens to you. But we'll see.
Will we get to see Ivy grow up a bit?
Will we get to see Ivy grow up a bit? Oh yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Awesome.
No.
Who do I think would play a good Harry? Besides Will Smith, because I've always said Will Smith. This guy in the back, for one. I really don't know him, but he's quite tall and he was pointing to himself. Let's see. Who I would pick for it would be. Matt. Yeah, Matt. Yeah, actually, he might do it pretty well. Actually, he's got the right look. Let's see. Alexis Denisov, I think could do it or could have done it. I don't know what he's like lately. Marsters could have done it. I don't know if he could do it lately. He's getting kind of he's getting a little weathered. We might have to cast him as somebody else. What? Oh, I would accept Hugh Jackman. I would tolerate Mr. Jackman. It's not something that I think about so much because in my head, he's never somebody who's in the movies. He's the guy in my head who is the guy in the prequel cartoon that Ardian drew. In the prequel comic, Welcome to the Jungle. That's Dresden as he looks in my head. That's very, very close to what he is because they worked so closely with me putting the images together. So.